Jay here for Stretford, Paddock, and this is the Paper Talk. And as you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford, and it's pretty sunny, a bit cold, but it's sunny, and the sun is shining because, amazingly, in the past sort of 24 hours, Manchester United have basically got a deal done for the Ajax midfielder Donny Van De Beek, or Van De Beek as many people have been calling him, erroneously. He's part of a deal that's looking like a £40 million deal. We got the rumours started gathering momentum yesterday morning that it looked like United were in for him. It looked like a deal was about to be done, and then we got those three magic words from Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. He tweeted, Van De Beek to Man United, or Van De Beek, sorry, to Man United. Here we go. Man United tonight, as expected, have sent their official bid, and Ajax just accepted without any negotiation. Agreement reached for €40 million plus add-ons, paperwork and medicals next week. So it looks like it's all done. It's sorted. There's no, if we can work out a payment structure, if we can get the player to agree to it, if he's happy to move to Old Trafford, it's all done. He's happy, the club are happy, the clubs are happy. So that is a done deal for the Ajax midfielder, the 23-year-old, who's had a great few seasons at Ajax. He played against United a few years ago in Stockholm for the Europa League final. I was there that night. He came on, I think, with 20 minutes to go. I'm not going to pretend that I remember him. I'm not going to pretend I was stood there going, oh, United's just signed him in a few years. He's going to be great. But he has had a really good few seasons at the club. His stats are pretty impressive, and obviously all the talk this morning, all the papers, focusing on how he's going to fit into this Manchester United team and what sort of a player he is. Now, apparently, the negotiations were helped by Edwin van der Sar. On his Instagram, Romano also said, the agreement has been reached, a strong relationship between the two clubs, and also Edwin van der Sar himself have helped to complete the deal so fast. Van de Beek already agreed personal terms until June 2025. So a 5-year deal. And Edwin van der Sar, the United legend, the one that I said was our greatest ever keeper in the debate we just had recently, if you caught that, he apparently has stepped in. There's also other reports that Matt Judge, who's overseeing transfers, had got involved as well, sort of tried to speed things up because apparently, according to, I think it was the Mirror, Tottenham were looking at trying to hijack the deal. So Matt Judge and Edwin van der Sar getting together there to get that deal over the line and get it all sorted. So, you know, a lot of, as I said, reports are sort of talking about what sort of player we've got, how he's going to fit in. Van de Beek was, it says here, I think it was on Sky, they've been talking about him, how he's obviously Ollie's first signing this summer, hopefully the first of many. I'm going to get to some other signings, that potential signings, a little bit later on. But it says that he was part of the Ajax side that got to the Champions League semi-finals in 2019. Also, looking at his stats, I'm sure you've all done this. I'm sure you've all had a Google and gone on YouTube and checked out his clips and looked at his stats as well. We will be speaking to someone who knows Ajax quite well, who's been following Van de Beek's career quite well. We're speaking to him a little bit later on the channel, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But just going through a few of his stats. In the Arriva Divisi, get my words out, 118 games, 28 goals, 24 assists. Champions League, he's had 17 games, 5 goals, 3 assists. Obviously a very talented player, a midfielder there who can sort of, is being described as an attacking midfielder, a player who can sit a little bit deeper, but who could cover for Bruno or Pogba if one of those two are injured or are out. But it does beg the question: is that done? Is that it for Manchester United in terms of midfielders? And by the looks of it, according to some of the papers, it isn't. There's talk that we could be in for some more midfielders. One midfielder we've been linked with is Thiago Alcantara. Now, people may look at this and go, Thiago Alcantara, what is this? 2013? Because don't forget, we were linked with that the midfielder back in 2013 when David Moyes took over from Sir Alex Ferguson. It looked like we were going to get him. It was almost a done deal, almost here we go time. But then, for whatever reason, it didn't happen. Reports were that David Moyes didn't quite fancy him, didn't know enough about him and wasn't willing to sign him. And instead, we went out and bought Marouane Fellaini. You can make of that what you will. But according to Sport Build, United have been looking at Alcantara, who has been linked heavily with Liverpool, as an option. Now, we've been looking at him, and apparently, you know, he's available for a €30 million fee. Well, not apparently, I think that's pretty set in stone. That's the fee that it would take to get him. And he has been heavily linked with Liverpool. But United could be trying to get in that deal, because it says that been monitoring the situation closely. And are willing to make a bid. Now, we spoke to Florian Plettenberg last week, I think it was. He covers Bayern Munich for Sport 1 over in Germany, a reputable German sports website, and he was saying that he felt Alcantara would be open to a move coming to Old Trafford. He felt that the move to Liverpool, although it was likely, was far from done. It wasn't a done deal, because he said that there was sort of a feeling that Alcantara was looking at the Liverpool midfield and feeling that he may struggle to get in there, that it may take someone like Naby Keita moving on for Alcantara or Thiago Alcantara to get into that side. Now, I don't see Liverpool selling Naby Keita. I don't think he's going anywhere. And I think they have got other options. They have got the likes of Fabinho. We know that Wijnaldum can play in that position, even Jordan Henderson. So you may well be looking at it and thinking, I may struggle to get in that Liverpool team, even though I think our midfield is as strong, if not better than Liverpool's. For the type of player he is, he may look at it and think, if I came to Old Trafford, I can fit into that role behind Bruno and Pogba and Van De Beek, or one of those, or combination of those three, and get into this team. And he is open to move to Old Trafford. Plettenberg, who we spoke to, was saying that United are very revered in Germany, Bayern Munich and German fans and German players all look at United rightly as being the biggest club in England. So he would be open to that move. And also Rummenigge, the Bayern chief, has said that he expects him to go. He said not necessarily to United, but he said that Alcantara is going to go. He did an interview recently where he said it looks like he will leave us. So that was pretty much, he's going. It's just a question of, is he going to Liverpool or could Manchester United get in there? I think if United were to make the bid, from what we're hearing, that there's every chance that he'd be open to coming to the move to Old Trafford because of the reasons that I've just given. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that one, because United have been monitoring him. He's a player that's been on our radar now for, 7 years. He's open to a move to Old Trafford and he's available for a price that would suit Manchester United. We know that money is always an issue here. Not the amount of money we've got, but the amount of money the owners are willing to spend. 30 million euros for a player like that who's just won the Champions League. I think he's 29 years old, so he's not past it. He's got at least 2 or 3 seasons left in him at the very top. He sounds like a bit of a bargain to me, to be honest with you. The only question is, can we get in there before Liverpool? Because we know that Liverpool are heavily interested. Jurgen Klopp, a big fan of the midfielder, so it may take some sort of fast-paced moving to get that deal done before Liverpool get in there. But we've seen it with Donny Van De Beek. United can do a quick deal when they need to. Not very often, but it can happen. So we'll keep you posted if any developments come on with that one, if United do make a bid and if Bayern Munich are open to the idea of selling him to us. Now, another midfielder we've been linked with for, again, it feels like a very long time, is Jack Grealish. Now, people will look at it and go, well, this is it. United have bought a midfielder now. We're not going to be in for Grealish. That must be over. But there's been reports, I think there's a Mirror, and a few other papers as well, the Mail. Yesterday they were saying that even though we're looking at Donny Van De Beek, we're still looking at Jack Grealish, and I think the Mirror picked up on that as well and said that it could be potential there for United to sign both players. Now, you may look at it and go, well, why would we need both? They're both sort of similar. They're similar, but they're not the same. Jack Grealish can come into this side and he can play in midfield, he can play just off the striker, he can play in a 10, he can play on the left or even on the right. He is one of those players. Dare I say, jack of all trades, forgive me for that awful pun, but he can fit in almost anywhere along the front 5. Now, if you think about it, you think, well, okay, Manchester United have just spent, around £40 million, I think £39 million, £39.3 million on a player. That's not broke the bank, so we should still be able to afford to buy other players. We know we're still sort of, the Jadon Sancho thing's rumbling on. I'll get to that in a minute. But we should be able to sign other players. And one thing Manchester United have is an abundance of players that a surplus to requirements. Now, you look at it and you think, could there be a deal there with Aston Villa? Could United, we heard that perhaps Romero could be going to Aston Villa. Could United maybe throw in Chris Smalling or someone like that, who's an established defender, an England defender, a player that's won the Premier League and who's just had a fantastic season in Serie A? Would Aston Villa be open to a cash plus Smalling deal for someone like Jack Grealish? I think they would. Maybe you can even make it, a double swap. You could maybe say Lingard again, another England international, 27 years old, an established Premier League player. Could a deal be done there? Now, you may be saying, oh, this is, pie in the sky, you're just trying to get rid of all these players. But going to a club like Aston Villa, if you're someone like Chris Smalling or whoever, it's still a big move. They're still a big club. I know they've been around near the bottom of the table and only recently got promoted a couple of seasons ago, but they are a big club. And if you're looking, your surplus to requirements at Old Trafford, that move could make a lot of sense. And also, Aston Villa have got the money to pay those type of wages as well. They're not skint. So it'll be interesting to see whether United do pursue Jack Grealish and whether we do go in for Thiago Alcantara. It could be that United aren't done in the midfield department just yet, and we could see a few more signings on the horizon. And in terms of Jadon Sancho, I'll round up with that because I feel like I have to give you an update on Jadon Sancho every time I do a video, because that's the sort of the transfer saga that has been rumbling on, and there isn't much to report. The sort of the same old stories are being regurgitated that United are still interested. There's a bit of an impasse between ourselves and Borussia Dortmund as to how that fee will be paid and whether that fee will be paid. But you look at it and you think, okay, United have started spending money. Is that out of the kitty for Jadon Sancho? Some papers reporting it is, others reporting it not. But if it isn't, then Manchester United could quite easily go for the likes of Jack Grealish and maybe Thiago Alcantara and still have money left over if that's the budget they've set aside for Jadon Sancho, and the Jadon Sancho deal isn't happening just yet. Again, we spoke to Patrick Berger from Sport 1 I think 2 weeks ago, sorry. He covers Borussia Dortmund, and he was adamant that Jadon Sancho isn't going anywhere this summer. He was saying Dortmund are digging their heels in. He said the fact that Bayern Munich have won the Champions League, the fact that I think it was Honzu, one of the Bayern Munich execs, was throwing a little bit of shade at Dortmund, saying, oh, you're a selling club, has hurt their pride. They look at Jadon Sancho as being integral to them getting back or to trying to take the top spot from Bayern Munich, so they're willing to hold on to him. So we'll have to see how that one pans out. It has been rumbling on for many, many months, but the transfer of Donny Van De Beek hasn't rumbled on. It's been done very swiftly, within 24 hours. We're just waiting for his medical now. That's expected this week. He's expected to sign on the dotted line over the next few days and officially become a Manchester United player. This has been the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford, and it feels a little bit warmer, especially now we've got a player over the line. Don't forget to check out some of the videos we've got coming up later on. We'll have Howson's Brew, where me and him will obviously be talking about United's latest signing. We'll also be speaking to an Ajax football expert who can tell us a little bit about Manchester United's new signing. I've been Jay. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.